Hello, glorious soul. Welcome back to Soul Service Astrology. I'll be sharing with you this week the Soul Service Astrology, or the 13 signs Sidereal Astrology, for the week commencing the 27th of September 2021. But welcome to my channel. I'm Kelx. As I mentioned, I'm a 13 sign Sidereal Astrologer and the creator of Soul Service Astrology. What is Soul Service Astrology? Soul Service Astrology is a process and a technique that will allow you to understand yourself deeply so that you can take personal responsibility for your challenges and or weaknesses, lean into your gifts and strengths, because we all have those, and then tap into your highest purpose to be of the greatest joy and service this lifetime. 13 sign Sidereal Astrology is accurate astrology. What does that mean? It means it references astronomy. So therefore, when you observe the planets in the night sky, they will correlate to what the astronomers say. 99% of the astrology, modern Western astrology is what I'm talking about, does not correlate to where the planets can be observed in the sky. Yes, that is true. So when we're referring to accurate astrology, it allows you to activate your imagination through that awe-inspiring process of looking at the sky. And humans have been looking at the sky and drawing meaning from it for millions of years. All right, let's get into the astrology for the 27th of September 2021. There we go. Just had a little bit of trouble getting my share up. There we go. That's the 27th of September 2021. And the main aspect we are looking at today is Mercury goes retrograde. Okay, so let's dispel some myths, first of all, about Mercury retrograde before I get into the details of it. Mercury retrograde is not a period in time to fear. If we give into fear, if we say something external, like a planet external to us is controlling us, it's causing these problems, then we're giving away our free will. We're giving away the ability to say, no, actually, I can make decisions. I can observe the world around me. I can observe how I'm feeling, and I can co-create this experience. And we don't do that in Soul Service Astrology. We don't give away our power. So Mercury retrograde is a really special time of the year where you get to give your mind a rest. Mercury represents the mind. Within us, it represents the storyteller, the teacher, the student, our mind, how we communicate. So why not let it have a rest? Mercury in Virgo in particular loves information and can continue to collect and collect and collect and collect information to the point where they burn out. This Mercury retrograde, since the previous retrograde, the last Mercury retrograde was in, was it in Taurus or Capricorn? I can't remember whether it was in Capricorn and the first one was in Taurus. The first one was in Capricorn, the second one was in Taurus, and this one is in Virgo. So this is the third Mercury retrograde this year. So it's an opportunity to do a review, really, and in particular in Virgo. Now, Virgo loves to serve, right? We need to serve ourselves first. So it's a time to perhaps reflect on, okay, what does my mind need? What does the student and the teacher within me need? Does it need some time off? Does it need to just read a good book? Does it need to do a bit of a review and a check-in? Am I trying to do too much? Am I thinking too much? Am I consuming content that is making me feel worse? All right, so it's really a period, rather than being fearful of something external to us doing something to us, it's a period that has an archetypal energy associated with it where you get to focus on you. You get to improve your health, you get to calm your mind down, you get to do some enjoyable things. And I think in this day and age, in particular in the Western world, I think this is a really, really important thing. We're allowed to take a break, we're allowed to calm our mind down, we're allowed to have a rest and switch off. And what I'm doing this Mercury retrograde is for 11 days, I'll be taking the social media apps off my phone and having a proper social media break. Now, I'm only doing that for 11 days. The Mercury retrograde this period goes from the 27th of September up until the 19th of October. You'll hear me talk about it on all the weekly videos up until that point, so don't worry. But I would really encourage you now to set an intention for just this week. What's one thing that you can do that would feel really delicious to calm the thoughts and the mind down? Now, that might be a content review, like, okay, what can go? It might be, I'm going to go and practice some yoga because yoga's sole purpose is to calm the fluctuations in the mind. So just pick one, really simple one. 11 days. I'm picking 11 days. Okay, so that's what happens from the 27th of September, the Monday. Let's move to Tuesday. Tuesday, it looks like there's a lot going on Tuesday, but there are a lot of minor aspects and they're not exact yet. So let's move to the 29th of September. And the aspect that I want to talk about is Capricorn retrograde, Saturn retrograde in Capricorn, Trine down here to the Sun in Virgo. So you might have noticed there's a lot of earth energy at the moment. So let's just talk about the element of earth in astrology. We are fully human, and this fully human element of us is represented on earth. We're here on earth to experience all its glory. And we create things and we build things and we desire a particular life, and we have goals and we have achievements and we have careers and businesses, and we want to lead and build and move towards those goals and achievements. What I've really described there is Saturn. But with the earth element attached, it's that we're creating something physical and tangible in this world. And there's nothing wrong with physical and tangible. We just need to remember that we only take what we need rather than taking continuously, which is a big part of the Western culture's paradigm at the moment, is that we can continually take and take and take, and taking is infinite. Whereas to come back into more of an alignment and a balanced and interconnected approach with the planet, it's taking only what we need, but still fulfilling those goals and achievements that you might have. So when Saturn, as the leader, leading, is under review, so I feel like there's a consolidation here. We're consolidating the things that we're masterful at. We're consolidating our experience. Now that takes time. Saturn has been in Capricorn for quite some time. So you might feel like you're moving a bit slowly at the moment. There is still a lot of outer planets retrograde, and we're going to have Mercury moving retrograde as well. A trine is an easy aspect. So there's a flow here. And it flows down to the Sun in Virgo, another earth sign. The Sun is how we shine and what we create and how we express. It's really the creator. And in Virgo, it desires to serve ourselves first and then serve out within the community and the greater whole. Now, it wants to shine how in an authentic way, in a heartfelt way. And what this aspect suggests is you get to consolidate your expertise down and your mastery and your skills, because Virgo is about skills, and you get to express this and perhaps start stepping up and showing yourself as the leader, showing your service, showing how you want to express yourself authentically. Now, there's still a little bit of retrograde action going on, so I would recommend, rather than going whole hog and going out full Leo style, because this is definitely not Leo style, is a few small steps to start to move towards your expertness, your mastery, starting to show yourself, this is how I serve and this is how I lead. So that's Tuesday. And of course, this aspect will flavour not just Tuesday, most of the week. Let's move to Wednesday, the 30th of September. Now, there's two aspects here happening on the 30th of September. The first one is Pluto is square Mercury. Now, this aspect was actually in last week as well. And it's come back around again because Mercury's gone backwards. So it's gone backwards. It's gone back over this aspect. So what I want you to do is I want you to check in with what came up for you in relation to something that made you feel really uncomfortable, potentially a fear that came up. And in particular, it might be around your beliefs, your philosophies, having deeper faith and trust in yourself. And it also might be around the skills and the knowledge that you know and that you want to share as part of your service. So, for example, a common fear with a lot of people is, I am not enough. So that is a fear. And so feel into your experience. Now, I've mentioned before in Soul Service Astrology, there's two ways that you can work with the aspect. You can listen to me describe it. So I've just described it to you and you go, okay, and you forget about it and you go about the rest of your week. But you're observant, you're noticing your thoughts and your feelings and what's coming up. And perhaps you're writing them down. Look, there's a lot of Mercury energy at the moment. So write things down. It's a good thing. Or you could talk it out into a phone. And you observe what's coming up and then you go back and go, oh, that's what Kelx said. Or you could not listen to this all week. We're at the beginning of the week. So maybe you might be listening to this at the end of the week. And you will have noticed and observed your thoughts and your feelings and seen what's come up and then go, oh, that sort of fits in. Now, the whole idea with this collective soul service astrology that I share with you weekly, it's part of a self-reflection process. It's part of deepening our awareness into our feelings, thoughts, emotions, beliefs, so that we can come closer and closer and deeper into a connection with our intuition. And that means a deeper connection to one, ourself, and connection to everything that's around us. And we come back into that beautiful ecological law and spiritual law of interconnection, that we're connected to everything. So that's why this is a suggestion for you and how to practice using the collective astrology. So notice your fears. The next transit that's happening on Wednesday the 30th is Neptune over here in Aquarius is trine Venus in Libra. Now this is a nice transit and we need some of this. There's a lot of earth energy within the chart. So having some air energy in there is lovely. We get to have a bit of a lightness. We get to have a bit of playfulness and excitement, a bit of energy. And we get to, with Neptune in Aquarius, we get to be, sort of visioning and imagining the what ifs, right? Imagine the what ifs with Neptune there. Reconnecting with our spiritual selves. How do we do that? We do that by noticing our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs, being aware of them, seeing what they're telling us. And this is really attuning to ourselves and attuning to our environment, because the nature might be telling us things as well. And we can feel into and read those things as well. And then, of course, we have this beautiful trine down to Venus. And Venus in Libra is the diplomat, is the advocate, is willing to listen, deep listening. So Venus is also very much about ourself first and then connecting outward. So there's this deep listening inside. Deep listening, as I've just explained that, starting to become really aware of the thoughts, the feelings, the beliefs with Venus, the desires. Deep listening. And then deep listening to your most intimate relationships. And that's not just romantic. You might have very deep and meaningful relationships with friends, relatives, and your children even. So there's this, I encourage this deep listening. So this is kind of a little bit more expansive, deep listening inside and then a deep listening outside as well, because the deep listening inside means that you'll start to receive a few more messages perhaps from the unified field, infinite consciousness, spirit. I'll just refer to it as spirit. That's what makes most sense to me as one of the elements of this planet and, of course, the solar system. So that's a beautiful transit. And what I've also written here is it's easy to shine your magic and change via your values. They'll be aligned and they'll be connected. there is this element of embodiment, of becoming and being. So I've spoken about the observation of our thoughts, our feelings, our beliefs. With Venus, it's very much about what's going on in my body, as well as all those things that I've just said. Okay, so that's Thursday, the 30th of September. Now, welcome to October, everyone. 1st of October. This is Friday. The main aspect on Friday is Jupiter is square Venus. So I've just spoken about these really big visions that you might have for change, being very deeply embodied into your mystical and spiritual nature, allowing your desires to feed them up, receiving some information back, connecting with yourself, connecting with others. Now, what our ego loves to do is chuck a fear in there. So this fear is, if I am truly to meet myself in an embodied way, as deep listening to myself and tend to myself first, how can I truly expand into these dreams and be the leader and show myself? How can I truly step into that space? So again, that belief potentially of I'm not enough might come up. So what I've also said here is, rather than I'm not enough, you might also be feeling like maybe I'm too much, which really at the same level is I'm not enough because I'm being too much. So how can I possibly put myself out there? So these are kind of fears that might come up during the week. Now, don't be afraid of these fears. Fears are always a messenger. And through a process of self-awareness, which is what this practice is, you get to journal about them, you get to talk to others about them, you get to move through them. And my suggestion is when this comes up and go, well, what's the opposite of that? If that's what my ego's telling me and it's making me feel rubbish and I'm not progressing towards my goals and my dreams, Jupiter in Capricorn, well, what else could be true? What if I didn't have that thought or feeling or belief about myself? What would it feel like to not have that thought or feeling about myself? And that's the feeling state that you want to start to embody and cultivate and move towards. Now, embodiment means it's not just a one-time thing. It's a daily practice. Mercury Retrograde is an amazing time for you to start to practice embodying new beliefs about yourself and then integrating those beliefs. So what's something that I'm doing? I'm integrating and embodying the inner child more in my life. I'm integrating the belief that I'm fully supported and I'm held and I'm provided for. And how am I doing that? I'm visioning, I'm using visual exercises, I'm imagining as well, because we need to vision and imagine this. I'm taking myself back to times when I have felt fully supported. And what's interesting enough is that at the moment, I know I'm fully supported. I can see myself fully supported, and now I can feel myself fully supported and provided for, to flip the beliefs that I've had around that I'm not enough, okay? So that is Friday. Let's check out Saturday, the 2nd of October. The main aspect here is Chiron opposite Mars. So this is a little bit of different energy for this week to round the week out. Chiron in Pisces is really our spiritual alchemist. It's the alchemist starting to realize, oh, I've experienced this journey for a reason. I needed to experience perhaps those uncomfortable, challenging times and overcome them, not push them down, not push them aside, not let them stay in my ego and destroy me, but to overcome them and to integrate them into who I am now. And they're part of my spiritual nature. And sometimes that makes me vulnerable. So there might be this desire to be, reflecting on our vulnerability, reflecting on the journey that we've been on to overcome some of the perhaps more challenging times. We may like to sort of dwell a bit more in dream space over here as well with Pisces and the magic of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. Opposite Mars down here in Virgo, Mars might just be wanting to get some stuff done and not really be pondering the bigger picture of things. Mars is like, I have a to-do list. I have some stuff I need to do. Why do you want me to navel gaze? Why do you want me to check in with my awareness? Why do I have to do this review of, where I've been, where I've come from and how it's benefited me? I just need to get stuff done, right? So you might be oscillating between those two feeling states, wanting to really connect with the divine, connect with the self, maybe going on some really deep meditative journeys and feeding your spirit in your dreams, listening and looking at your dreams as well. Or you might be over here, oh no, I just got to get shit done. I would really encourage you with this aspect to find a little bit more of a balance, particularly with Mercury retrograde and all the outer planets still retrograde. So there is a real need here for us to be taking a step back. And something that I've been playing with, because I am a Virgo, so there's a lot of Virgo energy at the moment, is like, could I be doing less? And how do I really want to work? And is that available to me? Is it available that perhaps I can be a little bit more spiritual and a little bit more intuitive and maybe appearing to be a little bit more woo-woo in my approach to how I get my things done? And can I balance that both? Can I say, all right, Mars, we're going to get some stuff done, but you know what I'm going to do before that? I'm going to meditate, or I'm going to creatively write out some things. And then after that, well, I can do the thing. So as an example, this morning, and this is something that you can play with, I exercised, I meditated, I didn't turn the computer on, and I scribbled out some notes when I was planning my eco-alchemy circle. And then once I had it all down, and it was all a bit all over the place, I went, right, I'll put it in one slide so I'm prepared for the circle. And then that's where Mars in Virgo comes in and goes, right, bang, 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 there it is. And I feel so much better for operating that way. So it's a really beautiful time for you to explore that. And on Sunday, the 3rd of October, there's a couple of aspects here. We have Jupiter, Trine Mercury. Let's take a look at that one first. And we also have Chiron opposite the Sun. So Chiron opposite the Sun, actually, let's do that one first. Chiron opposite the Sun is very similar to Mars, that very similar energy. The Sun is wanting to shine, wanting to share, wanting to express, and Chiron's up here going, oh, well, can't we just, be dreaming and floating and having a little bit of a rest? And I would say, yes, you can. But just make sure that you are still taking some time to, express yourself, creating from a space that's fed by your spirit and your alchemical nature is going to feel really good. Similar way in when you're getting stuff done. Now, these two are coming into close conjunction, of course, as you can see that, which is why we've got this opposition here. Okay, so the other one, Jupiter, Trine, Mercury. Now, of course, this happened last week as well. But because Mercury is now going backwards, it's going back over this. So this is Trine. This is a really good energy. And this is where, during your Mercury retrograde period, you get to play and have some fun. This is Jupiter. Dump down everything you think you're awesome at. What are your dreams? What are your goals? Be crazy. This is Jupiter. Expand beyond expansion. And because it's in Capricorn, it's like your big goal. It's your big mountain, right? It's not a little mountain. This is a big mountain. And then just blurt it all out, put it onto a page. And then with Mercury, then on maybe another page or in amongst that, put down your skills. What are my skills? What's the difference between skills and mastery? Well, skills are okay, I'm really good at Word, I'm good at PowerPoint, you might be really good at graphic design programs, They're your skills, they're your certifications, they're things, the kind of things that you've trained in. Whereas your mastery and your strengths and your expertness is much more, okay, what outcome have I been really great at delivering for people? And because all those skills fit into that. So you're kind of doing this huge dream, strength, skill map. And the reason why I'm saying that this is a bit of a review is because it's retrograde, right? Both planets are retrograde. So you're just sort of dumping it all out. Now, the earth signs are probably not going to like that. But I would encourage you to just sit with that, because this aspect is going to come up again. Once Mercury goes back direct, we're going to get another Jupiter trine Mercury, and they're both going to be direct, and you're going to be able to start to implement some of that, and you'll be able to start to organize it and bring it into organization. And what this is really doing, what this retrograde period is, it's this clearing the clutter. It's like what I want for you guys to appreciate and understand is we do so many things that we don't need to be doing. And if we really took the time to review and rest and reflect and realize what is the most important things in our lives, in our goals, in our dreams, in our expertness, our mastery, whatever we're trying to create this lifetime, and just really focus on that and start to clear out the crap. So this whole retrograde period is a little bit about clearing out some of the crap. And I'm going to leave this week's recording right here when I've just said that. So that's the astrology in review this week. If you would like to follow me, please subscribe on YouTube, right where you are. Or, of course, I'm on all the wonderful socials, Facebook and Instagram. I have a free Facebook group called Sidereal Stars with Kel, and you can find that link at my website, kellygunter.com. I also am a meditation teacher on the beautiful app Insight Timer, and I have 2 gorgeous meditations, of course, dealing with the planets on Insight Timer. So I would be honored if you would go over there and follow me and have a listen to some of the beautiful meditations I provided there. The plan is to provide a hell of a lot more meditations on Insight Timer. So I will see you on the interwebs somewhere. Have a beautiful week. Bye.